Hi, Zeus here. I used an all rocket Choppa meta to reach gold tier in the first 12 hours of season 54, and I wanted to show you how to do that. All right, so first off, you have to have a good base design. This base is effective as an anti-seeker base. It's not as effective against rocket choppas, very effective against mechs and Zookas. And since I'm using all rocket choppas, that's okay because if I outplay my opponent with rocket choppas, I win, and if I don't, I'm going to lose. But everything else an opponent might use against me, I'm going to win because the all rocket choppa technique is faster than anything else that could be used at this point in the season. Now, after I opened Heavy Choppa, I switched to a different meta, but it takes a lot of keys to get to Heavy Choppa, so I wanted to show you how to work this all Rocket Choppa meta. Now, the first thing is you got to find a spot to go where your Rocket Choppas can get all organized together and they're not going to get beat up by a cannon. So anything other than a cannon, like a machine gun, a sniper tower, or an engine, is fair game to go after. And you've got to flare consistently in an anticipatory way to get to where you need to go to avoid the cannons and to get the key targets that you're trying to destroy cleared off the map of your opponent. So rocket choppas work best in a pack. If you have 5 or 6 of them working together, and of course all 8 is better, you can usually get lucky and clear a single shot dangerous defense like a cannon if they are all attacking it simultaneously, even if you don't have any shocks. Now, in this particular season, at the beginning, there's also those boom surprises, which are really tricky and can take down 2 rocket choppas if you're not careful. So you've got to flare to those, and even though they're down, the flare is very effective because they go right to the boom surprise in a group, and then take it quickly out. Sometimes even before it can pop up and start targeting the rocket choppas. Now this attack is a great example of how you can work the rocket choppas as a pack and not lose a single rocket choppa even though you're going up against cannons. So far I haven't lost a single one, and that's pretty amazing actually, considering that you're going up against cannon after cannon after cannon, and only lost one rocket chopper there at the very end on that boom surprise. So I felt really good about that attack. Now I tied this attack, but I want to show it to you because I made some mistakes that really shouldn't be made. And you know, the thing that I want to show you here and illustrate is that sometimes one or more of the rocket choppers won't follow a flare. So you have to assume that this could happen and be ready to send a second flare as soon as possible. So watch to make sure they're actually all following the flare. And you know, sometimes they do wonky things like attack the wrong defense, wander off. So have a flare ready to stop what they're doing to get them to do what you want them to do. And if I had done that in that attack, I would have won. Now, I did lose this battle, but I want to show it to you because I did have an excellent time. The initial flare down to the far right corner put my rocket choppers in range of a machine gun, which isn't going to do any damage to it. And then they quickly took out that cannon with 0 losses. And then I flared to that cannon, but I lost 2 rocket choppers there because it was a really well-designed base. That flare worked really well. That flare worked really well. And at the end, I lost 1 more rocket chopper. You know, it was an extremely difficult base to even clear, so I felt really good about that. It's just my opponent had an excellent time on my base, and so I lost. Now I won this one. It had a very tricky base, this opponent, including one of the boom surprises. Had a perfect flare to that. Did lose one rocket chopper there, another against that cannon, so I came down here with 6. Perfect flare there. Took out that engine, another good flare, lost one more rocket chopper there. And then against these 2 cannons, there's really nothing you can do. But I got 4 rocket choppers to the very end. I felt really good about that, and that was good for the win. Now, I lost this one by 1 second, which was extremely frustrating, but I wanted to show you a 3-engine base and a slightly different technique. This base has so many cannons set up that the rocket choppers will all die if you come at it just with rocket choppers. So I used the mech and boat of riflemen as a distraction, and it worked out really well. Now I did get 4 rocket choppers through to the second half of the attack, and at that point I'm feeling really good about this attack because I had taken out that cannon without losing one of my 4 rocket choppers. And unfortunately the sniper tower took one more down, and that was the difference. I would have won this battle if I hadn't lost that 4th rocket chopper. In fact, if I hadn't lost another one earlier, it would have been a win. Here's another look at the base I was using at the time, although at the beginning of the video I showed you a slightly improved version of the base, which is even more effective against seeker players. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like, please. It'll help the channel build because of the way the algorithm works. And thanks as always to Hercules for help with the video editing.